All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome into another extra episode here of Locker Room Sports. Glad you can come by and make this a part of your day here on a cool Thursday evening here on November the 21st. Turkey Day is right around the corner. If you're still playing football and the grass is brown, then you're doing something right. Or for turf, I guess it don't ever get brown. Going to talk about Brooks a little bit. Went through and broke them down and talk about some of their players and kind of their season and stuff, and points for and against their record, teams they've played. Killian, Alabama is where Cherokee County Warriors will be traveling tomorrow night. And for traveling advice, everybody, let me go ahead and tell you, just go ahead and get your boggins out and your gloves and your hand warmers. Go by the dollar store. They got those 3-packs of hand warmers. Just grab you some and stick them in your coat. Okay. So let's say, first of all, we'll start at round one. Okay. Team up here in the north of 1A that nobody really needs to tell you about who they are or what they do. Tailback by the name of Wilkes, Wadley, Alabama. Just, known to be a football area, right there in that part of the state. All through that area, you got Randolph counties and all those teams down there going out through Wedowee and that kind of stuff. And like you go to Montgomery, it's a long, dreary kind of drive. And they ain't nobody been able to beat them right now, okay? And just looking at their record, Lee Scott Academy, which is not in their classification, they beat them 29-28. Everybody else, Meek scored 22 on them last week. But Wadley is averaging here, scoring 530 to 138. Undefeated in that region with Winterboro, Donahoe, Victory Christian. Well, also Woodland and Fayetteville, also in that region. So these teams' history, not so much. I look for it to be it should be a good game. I've seen both teams. I've seen Wadley play last year. I've seen Wilkes, and I've seen the Norris kid over here at Berry. Seen them play live in person last week over here at Spring Garden. And he's a good football player. He's as advertised. Defensively, they've given up some points here a little bit, give up a lot to Summerton Christian. They had beat them back during the year. We're talking about Berry, 69-44. And, the team that just stumped them all year, Spring Garden. They got one touchdown all day, and it was just what a crazy game. If you like defense and just they both struggled so much with each other, it was a great defensive battle. Let's see here. Hubbardville, they beat them 32-13, just looking through some of these scores here. Overall scoring 595, giving up 273, 11-1 on the year. Their only loss coming to Lynn, which we'll talk about them here in just a second. So these are going to be some high quality matchups, and also down here in the bottom of the bracket, we'll look at who we just talked about, Lynn, and Lynn is going to be taking on Hackleburg. This team versus Hackleburg third-round playoff game. Last time, Lynn lost 13-33 when they played just this season. Game we just give you there. So all-time record, Hackleburg, they're 18-16. So it shows, they got a little more than 50% chance of winning. So this should be a really good game. Should be a really knockout game. Teams are they're familiar with each other, Hackleburg and Lynn. And over here in that region with Lynn, you got Berry, Hubbardville, Pickens County, Marion County, South Lamar, Brilliant, and Summerton Christian finishing there at the bottom of that. So Lynn and Meek have played each other 78 times. Just some history there that you have between them. I think that'll be look, man, this is when it gets really tough. Okay, this is when it tightens up and it gets hard. And you got Elba going to play Georgiana. And I think a lot of the guys, especially, from down south, Andrew and them, they like to, well, it just locked me out of there. Georgiana, beating Leroy last week. Some of the guys picked that game. It was a good game, 16-14. Let's Georgiana move on. Elba, big win over Linden, 49-14. So that's going to be that bracket. Millry's going to play Maplesville. Maplesville took care of business against Sweetwater. Kind of surprising, not kind of surprising. Look, guys, for 1A football, a lot of you people around here played around Cedar Bluff, Sand Rock, Gillsville, Spring Garden. You're familiar with Maplesville, and you're familiar with Sweetwater. Cedar Bluff's played on both here in the past, 15 years ago, 16 years ago, and then here in the past couple of years. 21-20 was that game. Maplesville beats Sweetwater, and Millry takes care of McKenzie, 35-28. Wow, man. Whoever dials up and wins out of this little box here, I know they're going to get a tough opponent in Georgiana or Elba. This South 1A is going to be a gauntlet this year, for sure. It's really going to be a heavy-duty gauntlet for sure. So let's go over here to 2A. We'll take a look at some of these teams over here. Sulligett and Winston County. Winston County's been rolling right along, man. They've been one of those teams that you've had to pay attention to. I mean, the last couple of years, we have kept an eye on them, and to see them winning and rolling through these playoffs, and got some new structure, and the guys have been working hard and trying to get their name out there and be known for this 2A. Started the school over there, and like most schools back in the 20s. It's going to be a tough game. This third round game, and I know I'll probably say this 100 times tonight, and I don't mean to. It's hard, man. Third round's tough. I mean, you're trying to win this game to go play for the North. If you win this game, you get a chance to go play for you're not the North for this or the South. You know what I'm saying? So this game, talking about elimination game, man. This is a big time elimination game. Winston County will be playing Sulligett known. I guess I'd probably mention this Sunday on the show. Rashad Johnson played up there at Sulligett. His dad, Big Randy, ran the Heister company. He worked there at the Big Heister company up there in Sulligett. Just a lot of little casinos around the area, sad to say. And Rashad's daddy, Big Randy is what they called him, said, I knew a guy that worked there with him, know them all their life. He's just it's a great family. Just super good people. His mom, his dad, his grandparents, the whole area up there. Good people up there at Sulligett. Now, looking at Winston County, winning football games is I don't know. Some teams may take it for granted because you win so much. I'm going to tell you guys, if we got some young guys watching from around the area, if you've won all your games or you've only lost one or two, wow, congratulations. I'm telling you, it's hard to get on a consecutive run. That's worth something. It's worth shouting out to teams that are undefeated. This Winston County team has beat Addison, Meek, Tanner, Red Bay, Cold Springs, Curry, Lexington, Tharptown, Decatur Christian, Faultville, Cold Springs round 1, Vincent round 2, 25-20 last week. Even when you hear some of those other names, like Red Bay, for example, they're not having a great year. Okay. They just not, okay. Just not their year. They usually are. When we had to go up there and play them a couple of years ago, Cedar Bluff, they were on one of their runs, and I think they made a quarter or semifinal that year. But just to be able to win all your games, it's a big deal. So, shout out to all the teams. If you won all of them, but, like I said, one or two, and you're in the playoffs right now, congratulations. It's hard. It's hard for the coaches, man, the time that dedicated to it and to be away from their family and just continue to play and play and play. And it's very tough. So I look for this game to be a good one. Looks like all-time Winston County versus Sulligett is 12-15. Looks like Sulligett holds the edge in that. So this is going to be one of those games, man, tomorrow night that's going to line up. And we're going to get to see who plays for this 2A North, okay? And on the other side of that is Tuscaloosa Academy and Pisgah, man. Coach Pruitt, wow. I mean, what a job he's done. Shout out to them. And, what a great season they've had, and to be in there and to play for it, and the time and the stuff that it dedicates for them and the family to put all that in. Pisgah school, starting out up there in the mountain back in the late 20s at Sam Kenner Stadium. Of course, Luke Pruitt. We all know Luke. He's the coach up there. They're going to be at Tuscaloosa Academy. Last time these guys played, they played last year. Pisgah won 36-29. Their all-time, it's just they've played that one time last year. So look forward to this being another game, guys, that these teams have they have played each other. And Coach Pruitt knows that this is not exactly the same team. This is not exactly the same team. What's up, Kevin? Yes. Okay. Says Bob Smith's son Russell coaches at Tuscaloosa Academy. Okay. These guys got a good football team. I've seen them both play in person. Man, I'd hate to know I had to pick this game. I'm serious. Pisgah points for and against 524. They've only given up 168 points all year. 11-1. Their only loss coming at the end of the year versus Sylvania, 24-22 against their 3A opponent up there on the mountain. Shout out Coach Nelson and Coach Little at Sylvania. Guys, year one up there for them. They're doing a good job. And they played a scrappy game this past weekend. Now, for Pisgah, they beat Aliceville 50-28, beat Faultville 42-14. This Tuscaloosa Academy team, Pisgah's going to play defense, and they're going to control the ball. They're just going to throw the ball some, okay? And they're going to play good on the line. They got good opponents up front. They're going to run it enough to keep you honest, but, he does like to throw the ball around some. Coach Josh Wright up here at Tuscaloosa Academy, watched them play over here in town a couple of weeks ago. Their only loss was in a 2 overtime game at Southern, which we just mentioned a while ago, a playoff team over there in the 1A in that other bracket. So this is a good football team, and I watched them play up there at Coosa 21-35. That's their other loss. And quarterback, he can do it, man. He can play. I've seen him, tuck the ball and run it a little bit, but the ball just jumps off his hand. It's not like most quarterbacks. I'm just going to tell you that. You just have to see this guy play. So they take care of North Sand Mountain 42-6, and then they go at Susan Moore 34-9, win that no problem on the road. So this game here is going to be a good one. 434, and they've only given up 193. Their region there has got Venice at Sulligett, Aliceville, Greene County, Isabel, and Lamar County. That's kind of where that lays. Tuscaloosa Academy has won 15 games against Bessemer County, has won 25 with no ties. Against total wins against record against ranked teams, 2-4 total. If they score, kind of about anything. If they score, guys, if they're even scoring 10 or more, they're usually winning these games. So look for this game it's going to be a good game. Pisgah, Coach Pruitt's going to put up he's going to show up there with a good football team. And Coach Wright at Tuscaloosa Academy going to be doing the same thing. And it's going to be at Tuscaloosa Academy. So, like I said, if you had to pick a game, and I don't really want to pick that, it'd just be tossed up. You need to just say, who's at home? Just really, honestly, it's just kind of how that is. Now, in the South there, Cottonwood and Reeltown, we could talk to JB about that. Reeltown's playing great right now, okay? And then Ayrton and Highland Home, this matchup seems like the computer really loved Highland Home and Reeltown playing over here in this semifinal. That's who they really, really liked. Now, that don't mean that's what's going to happen, because we also had Pleasant Grove, the computer liked them playing in the state championship, and they did not make it. Crazy. It's crazy there. Let's see here. Wow. Reeltown. Coach Matt Johnson and bunch. 2009 state championship team. They won it same year that Cherokee County up here did. Last time, third round playoffs. Last time, Reeltown won 42-22 back last year. They are tied 4-4 with good old Cottonwood. The 50-50 shot there for them. Now they beat Houston Academy 65-0, and they went to Laverne, which is not an easy place to go play, and they win 57-14. And they will be hosting Cottonwood. I look for that to be a jam-packed game, and I think this is going to be very interesting. Now, let's jump over here to 3A. Game that we should be looking at here. Oh, man, look, if you live around here and you're watching the show, you know, I don't have to introduce this show about this game, about what it means to the communities, both two proud communities, highly decorated communities. One being with Coach Steve Smith mostly. Coach Miller's taken over this year over there at Piedmont. And then, of course, the 300, and I don't want to mess it up. He's won more than 360 games. Coach Paul Benefield at 5, 53-game winning streak back they had some time ago. Just national known winning streak. Broken by some team in New Jersey, I think, so he wound up breaking it. This game is over at Piedmont. 5's going to be over here. I think they're 3-0 against them all time. I think that's right. Somebody could correct me if I'm wrong. I think I had read somewhere they're 3-0. That 5 has beat them the 3 times that they've played. They ain't no way to hype this game up anymore. I mean, this game is going to be, with Cherokee County being gone on the road to Brooks, it's the biggest game around here. I mean anywhere around here. It's just going to be a huge game. They know each other. They've played each other. I ain't going to say bad blood because Coach Smith and Coach B they're professional kind of guys, you know, so there's no yak between them. The fans are going to talk, but most of those players, both those teams, I hadn't seen a lot of. The last time they played, there was some scandal about some tickets or something had happened with the online thing. Something got messed up. But other than that, it's just they just going to go out there and line up against each other and just take it out on each other. And the best team's going to win. It's going to be 2 well-coached teams, 2 different style of teams pretty much. Piedmont's going to spread this ball out. They're going to throw it to the edges to Ish and Pinto. Stone's going to handle the rock. They handle the ball well. Don't turn it over a lot. Seem like they take care of business on third downs. Piedmont does. And 5, we already know what they're going to do. He's going to show up out there, and he's going to run the ball. And Ryder and the boys, they're going to show up, and they're going to play hard because 5 has so much pride in what they do up there. They really love each other so much, the guys, and they've played together so much, just like Piedmont, man. It's very competitive in the eyes that both these communities take their football serious, so serious that their peewee teams, like, they've had years, their peewee teams hadn't lost games. Okay, you see what I'm saying? So they're invested in their football programs, and it's going to show up over here tomorrow night at Field of Champions. Now, Winfield and Mars Hill, Coach Higgins up there at Mars Hill, they've been here a few times, okay? They've been in these situations, and he's looking forward, I know, to getting back into this and making a good run at it. Their school started up there in 15, I think, 2015 or so. Coach Darrell Higgins, great story. You can go find his story. Just type it in on Average Joe's on Google and watch the interview he did up there with him. They beat Midfield, and they went to Geraldine, won 27-21. Good game. I kind of felt Midfield had the edge this year against them, but Coach Michael Smith, trust me, they're going to be back. Geraldine's not going anywhere. You're going to see them guys running around here in the playoffs. He does a good job up there with the guys. They just kind of been taking care of business this year, not giving a lot of points. They lost to Scottsboro, which is a good football team, 21-22 at the end of the season. Rogers was a good team too, and they beat them earlier back in October, 42-7. Beat Colbert County at Madison Academy. They beat them 34-7. So points for and against 523 to 158. 7-0 in region, 6-1 at home, 5-0 away for Mars Hill to play this Winfield bunch. And third round playoffs, Mars Hill, Winfield. I don't never know if I'm playing. I don't. If there has, hit the comment there and let me know if they have. This Winfield team going through some of their games. Phil Campbell, they beat Fayette County. Their losses opening the year. They lost a corner, 32-13. They beat Sulligent 26-8. That's a good win for them. They got a win at Venomant. Now they beat Colbert County by 30, and they go play Sylvania this past weekend and won 35-20. And going into the week, I think I talked to some of the guys over there. They felt good about their chances, to play this team, but they knew it's a good football team. And, just they come up short this time. But, hey, to make round 2 in your first year over there, that's a good sign, good sign. So 440 points scoring for this team, this Winfield team. Only give up 158. Wow, what a game. 11-1, 7-0 overall there in the region. They're in region with Gordo, which Fife put out last week, Venomant, Winfield, Oakman, Phil Campbell, Hansville, and Carbon Hill. Okay, now here's the one you may have been waiting on. And let's see, we hit the old peanut gallery over here. Coach Short, me and the granddaughter listening, appreciate you. Hope you're having a good evening. What's up there, Hot Wheels? It's our game of the week. Okay. Probably, Piedmont and Fife. Yeah, that's probably be going over to Piedmont over there, Kevin. That's man, that's just gonna be a big game. Marty could watch it here at the house and have chili and grilled cheese right up here, piled up in the warm with my socks on up here. Now, darn it. 4A, we'll start with the South here first. Hang on a second. Let me turn this. Okay. Had to turn the fan on there. It's getting a little toasty. Got my fire. I got to turn it down. See my old gas over here. It's getting hot. Wow. Fairfield and St. Michael. Man, what about that? We got to look into this St. Michael team a little bit more. I mean, we know who the coach is. We know who the quarterback is. Phillip Rivers, he may have played a little bit of football, may have played for the Chargers, may have played in some Pro Bowls, and may be a really good football coach, seems like. 2017, they started up school up there, Coach Phillip Rivers. These teams have not played. Going through the year, they beat Bayside Academy 31-10, just looking at some games here. They lost to Jackson 55-16. And went to Mobile Christian, won that game 45-35. Beat Orange Beach by 20. Beat Hanley by 23. And they're the ones that put out Pleasant Grove, was talking about earlier. Wow, what a shock. I mean, look, man, the Massey computer had Pleasant Grove playing Cherokee County for state. That's why you can't look at the computers. Because the game is played – what's played on the field. And computers can give you a good guess or get you in an area, but, man, they're going to go to Fairfield, and, man, I don't know. They're just rolling right now. This Fairfield group, they kind of look like LSU. Their helmet's got the tiger on the side up there. Good-looking lineup they got there. These teams have not played. They've lost to Pleasant Grove, West Blockton, and Oak Grove. The Oak Grove game was probably the closest of the bunch they lost, but they go to Dale County, take care of the business. They went at W.S. Newell, so they're coming out of that region there and had to travel the first 2 rounds, and they win. That says something. That says something. Says a lot of somethings. Now, St. Michael's coming there, and they're hot right now. And Coach Rivers has got them going, and his son Gunner. Defensively, I seen them play on a video. They got some guys up front that can go and get after it. So Fairfield style football, they're going to have to do the same coaching kind of talk stuff. Don't get behind the sticks on third down. Don't have no penalties, that kind of stuff. It's cliche, but that's just what it is. They're up. It's a tall task, but it shows a lot of resilience. This Fairfield bunch been able to go on the road like that and take care of business. They scored 355, but they give up 291 this year. So they were the bottom, the fourth team in this region. So this tells you how tough that region was. They're in the region with Bibb County, Oak Grove, and Pleasant Grove. That's a tough region. So it's Region 4 of that 4A. That's a tough region. I mean, you can tell you still got teams, playing in that region. But this week, it's tough. So I don't – gosh, if I had to pick that game, you'd probably think St. Michael. But, man, Fairfield's like, darn, we've been on the road. I'm glad we get to come back home. Think you're going to come beat us at home? Bring it on. Now, St. Michael probably will be favoring that game. Now, here's another one. Here's what some don't know, and that's okay. That's why you come by here. Hit the subscribe button while you're here, man. There's a thumbs up on that Facebook while you're watching on your phone. Just hit the thumb over there, the heart. And I appreciate it. Tell a friend, share it over on your page. Say, hey, man, this guy covers high school for us during the week, and we talk about a lot of college football on Sunday and Tuesdays, and Alabama, Georgia, and Auburn. He does all that stuff. Show a little love there so we can continue to do this show, because if we can't, then, there ain't really no reason to keep doing it. If we're not growing, we can do that through you guys, and we grow so much over the past couple of years we've been doing this, and we're appreciative for that. So help us keep growing. Jackson and Tallahassee. Now, here's what's interesting. Tallahassee. Well, they went out and got them a new coach. And they decided, you know what? We've been playing football down here for about 80 or 90 years, and Tallahassee football, 1969, Tallahassee Tigers history, and but let's go over Booker T and get old Coach O'Neill over there. They say the man is a fire breather, and he loves the kids, and he really gets them bought into what's going on. Tallahassee lost to Montgomery Academy. They took one against his old school, Booker T. Washington. And after that, guys, Bullitt County, Cleveland County, Handley, St. James, Talladega, round 1, Mobile Christian, and then Ashford, round 2, beat them up pretty good. But that Mobile Christian win, that's the big win, man. But Coach O'Neill is the one that put Jackson out last year, his team, when he was at Booker T. Now, I know he's a different team, but same coach. And I'm sure he's, letting these guys know we're going to go to Jackson. They're the most talked about powerhouse team of 4A. Even last year, they got a lot of talk. They have a lot of good players. They've got rated players from Duckworth at quarterback, 4-star guy, to Zeke, their tailback. I'm pretty sure he's a 4-star guy. They're next year's class. They're not even graduating now. They're already ranked. I'm pretty sure Zeke is the only tailback in that class that's ranked in the ESPN 300. That's in the top 300 tailbacks in the nation. Linebacker play, I think they got number 4. That's defensive lineman. I think he was number 50, and I got to learn some more. I know some of the guys. I follow them on Twitter. This is they're 106-0, Jackson. I don't have to say nothing. If you watch this and you keep up high school football, that's just the talk of the town. And 106-0 is what they've been falling against in this playoffs. But they're going to get to host this game against Tallahassee, and it's going to be a barn burner at Jackson. I promise you. The from the bank to the grocery stores to everything will be closed up before the sun goes down. They're going to be throwing down up there at Aggie Land. It's going to be a big game, man. I mean, they played Saraland close, 27-35. Other than that, they've just rolled through the season here. Points for and against for Jackson has been 540 to 144 score, and they're 11-1. 6-0 overall in their region. They beat St. Michael 55-16. They beat this Orange Beach team by 30. They beat WS Neal 48-0. And they didn't give up a touchdown in the playoffs. They played Bullitt County and Bibb County. Very, very interested in keeping an eye on this game. Very much interested in keeping an eye on this game. They run a lot of NFL stuff at St. Michael's. It's hard to cover. Son is one of the best QBs in the state, no doubt, Coach. No doubt. So if you're looking for, if you're down that way and you're probably looking for a barn burner, and you just show up down there in Jackson. That's going to be a barn burner. Now, finish out with this, and about 30 minutes. What I want to do, we'll get off here and let y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. Fire's getting hot back here. I'm fixing to have to turn it down. I'm very interested in this St. Morgan and Anniston game. Computer-wise, they had Anniston picked by 1. Look, man, it is what it is. I mean, that's computers, and hey, I just told you about a team that was picked to go to state that didn't make it last week. Another tried and true program, Coach Rico Jackson, there now. He's got Anniston playing good right now. Dude, it's a great time to get hot. Are you kidding me? I've seen these guys play in person, and they're hard to cover. They're big up front. Their linemen move their feet, and defensively, they read plays well. They play Cherokee County good out here, man. I mean, it was a good game. I mean, it was a 14-0, and Cherokee County is scoring at least 40, 35 and 40 on everybody. And Anniston couldn't score because Cherokee County defense is, I think they're one of the best defenses in 4A. I'm very interested in this game. I'm telling you, very interested. Last couple of weeks, I mean, they just got on a roll here, man. They beat Etowah, Aniana, White Plains, lost a close one in Jacksonville, which is no shame in that. They've moved up to play 5A. But they beat Randolph and Good Hope. Now, you can look at Randolph. Let's start with them. Okay, Randolph, Coach Lloyd over here, and they're in that – what region are they in? They are in region 6 or so. 8, region 8. This Randolph team, look, they're in there with North Jackson, Madison Academy, and Westminster Christian, and we've seen some of those teams, and I know, say whatever you want. Well, they're not the best region in the world, Matt. How can you, well, whatever. They finished second in the region, okay? We're talking about Randolph. We're just talking about some of these teams that Anniston's beat to give you a good idea of kind of who they've beaten and what they've taken care of. This Randolph team, they beat Madison Academy 32-31. Okay, and Madison Academy just went over here to Coach Robb Stadium and beat them. Another surprising. I mean, it was surprising. Now, they didn't play good against Pisgah. Coach Pruitt beat them 29-0. Let's see. They played North Jackson, a close game, and they beat New Hope. So, let's just see how this turns out for Anniston. I think they got a good shot at it. Now, on the other side of this, Coach Drew Phillips, I think he's been up there a while. Coach Short, if you know, you probably tell me. I know he's been up there a while. I can tell you right here. Let's see. These two teams have not played. But I can tell you right now, West Morgan, they ain't lost a game since they played Cherokee County last year. My God, you're talking about just piece somebody off and they say, you know what? Oh, we're going to be back. We lost 22 seniors. That don't matter. we're just going to reload it. We're going to put another shell in the barrel, on that double barrel, and we're going to drop it down, and we're going to pull the hammers back, and we're going to go. And they've just started off the year, and they've just go and go and go, 12-0. Points for and against 537 to 123. They've scored a lot of points on everybody. Just roll through here looking. They've scoring wise it favors Cherokee County a lot. They got 50s and 60s on a lot of teams and high 40s, and they went to West Limestone and won 29-7 was their lower scoring game. 31-0 first off against Randolph, but they beat Fayette County and Madison Academy 28-7 last week. Played in overtime, to double overtime actually with Deshler. Won that one by 35-34. So this team obviously knows how to win. And with this game being at West Morgan, I've been there. Nice little place. You go up there in town and make a right and then a left and go back down this industrial-like area and turn in this big, nice parking lot. Nice little kind of, the area right there where the baseball field and stuff, and you park and you walk around down there. Not a real crazy big like 4A like you would think, getting there. It feels more like a 3A, type setting. I'm not knocking it. I'm just telling you what it, kind of felt like there. Nice people. Talked to some parents in line, waiting on some nachos or something. They were proud to be playing in the playoffs. That was a quarterfinal game last year when they played Cherokee County. They were proud of their kids, which you're supposed to be. And that's your kids, man. I had one that played, and I love him and all his buddies, and I was proud of them. And they ain't lost a game since then. So that's got to be worth a lot. So Coach Jackson knows that, and I'm sure that Anniston is going to be ready to go and rock and roll on the A train, rolling down that way with the Bulldogs. We'll be heading up to Huntsville, around Trinity area, play West Morgan, and hope for a safe game. And I'll be looking forward to seeing that score. I'll be looking forward to seeing that score pretty early, seeing how that breaks out. Now, let's talk about Cherokee County and Brooks, and we'll get off here. Cherokee County Warriors will be traveling over there to, if I can get this, they're going to be traveling over to Brooks, Killian, Alabama. That's what they want to call it. I've seen these guys play football, and I'm not going to try to get all mushy and sappy. I've seen some of these guys that's left on this team play since they were little boys. And these boys are football players. From Tristan, Landon, and Tay. Keyshawn was on that team too. There's a younger group that had the Pee Wee group there from James. He's the center there. Some of those, the younger ones that's going to be there for the next year or two. But I've seen Tristan and that group play a lot of football. And they ain't lost a third round game yet. And I don't think they're definitely not going to go up there trying to lose this one. 447 points for, 128 points against. Let's look at the box here. There's a lot of zeros in these columns. Cherokee County beating these teams. Hokes Bluff scored some points on them. Piedmont got the win on them first game of the year. Arab scored some points, which we knew turned out later to be a quality football team up there for their area, that region stuff. Westminster 48-13, Central Florence 41-14. Now, they just literally brought the pain. And if they can continue with this type of force and focus and playing relentless and playing fast and just mindset of going out there and just tearing people up, they're going to be hard to beat. They're going to be a tough out. I'll just tell you that. I don't care where I'm from. I'm just telling you what I've seen them play. That region there, Hokes Bluff was second. Anniston was third. Alexandria was fourth. So, look forward to this team making another run at it. Now, this Brooks team, this is what you want to know about. They lost first game of the year to West Morgan, 42-10. They also lost to Central Florence, which Cherokee County had just beat this past week, beat them handedly. That's early in the year. I know what most people are going to say. Well, Matt, they beat that team and they beat them. Well, that means they should. Well, that means they should. But shoulds and mights grows on chickens' butts, and that's just not how football's played. I promise you, Coach Kelly's not thinking that, or his staff, Coach Hendo, Coach Turner, Coach Chandler, and Coach Wheeler and Josh and them. They're not thinking, well, you know what, we just show up down there. Central beat them. Well, we can just go down there. We got it. I promise you that's not what's went into this week's of practice. It's already been over this week. And they're revved up. They are not taking this lightly. They're just getting after it. I tell you that. Danville, they beat them 45-0. Talking about Brooks, they beat Dessler 44-21. Wins over Lexington, Western Limestone. They went to Eastern Lawrence, won that game. Now, beat Dora 38-7. That's a good win. I think Dora's a quality football team. Alexandria played them close. Shout out Coach again. He's done a good job up there ramping that program back. We knew he was going to do it. I mean, he's a good coach. That area, they got football players. Alexandria's got a good football community. And we look forward to that region of Cherokee County, Alexandria going back and forth again like back in the day. And also Coach Peavy, too. I can't leave them out. Etowah, they'll be back and be all right. And it'll be a good region, a good region for them to be playing in. So Brooks, 454, 212 against, 6-2 in the region. They finished third in that region behind West Morgan, Central Florence, Hatton, right up under them. Now, quarterback is where it happens. It happens right there with them. Garrett is he's a tall kid, 6'1" or 6'2", maybe 190, 200 pounds. Kind of looks like watched him play some film of several games. It runs through him. Okay, he's got 1,600 passing, 6 touchdowns. He's had 1,800 or 1,900 nearly last year, 17 touchdowns, over 22 touchdowns last year on the ground, rushing 1,600 yards, 1,000. He's done went over 1,000 rushing, 22 touchdowns right now, rushing. The Vandervliet wide receiver kid was picked up by Max Preps as one of their players of the week. I think it was their last, may have been against Eastern Lawrence or West Limestone, one of the last games, regular season. Just giving this info. It's not me. I'm just telling you what I read. He's had 430 yards already. Number 3 running back, Roe Thompson, younger guy. And then number 21, Cimerian Coffey, Cuffey, Cuffey. 813 yards, 11 touchdowns, 3 100-yard runs or more. And he's averaging over 6 a carry with 12 touchdowns. So that tells you, you got running backs averaging 6 a carry. Well, that'd be a first down, buddy. Okay. Every time he runs it. Defensively, they got 2 guys that got over 100 tackles. They're like both are linebackers. Their defensive guy, the Cooper Wood kid, he's got several interceptions. I watched film of them. He reads the ball well. He don't seem to overreact. To the ball. And he don't overrun stuff in the games I watched. He's a good football player. Number 50, the Johnston kid, linebacker. The number 13, Brown receiver. And then you got Watson. He's a junior running back, number 19. But the 2 guys that we're going, 3 highlighted guys here, you linebackers. Buttram, 6'2", 200 pounds, 125, 130 tackles on the year, 3 tackles for a loss, just in one game. He's a big kid. He's a run stopper kind of kid. He runs lanes well. He knows where he's supposed to be, and he's going to be good at what he does. He is very effective and he's fast on his feet. He's usually in the right place. He reads the ball well. He reads the plays well where you're going to try to run the ball. He showed him playing little receiver too. Showed him catch the ball a few times. But here's what I like about number 12, Buttram. Shout out Praise down there at Brooks. He's a catcher on the baseball team. I've coached more baseball than most other stuff. And the kids that are catchers, I don't know none that ain't tough. I'm just telling you, it's a nasty job. And the kids that do it in high school, they're not doing it because they're being told to. They love doing it. So he's going to be a good football player. So Cherokee County guys, this defense, watch number 12, keep eye on him. He's going to be making a lot of plays. And offensive line guys, you're going to have to get off your doubles. You're going to have to walk to that next level and make sure you're getting a hat on 12. If you don't know where 12 is every play, that's not good. And you can't count out Oakley, 6'2", 220. He's had almost 100 tackles. I've seen him make some special teams tackles. Good tackler, man. He stays in his lanes on special teams and stuff. He bull rushes guys. I've seen him just straight stiff arm guys and take the other underhand and punch and just push people back and run guys into the quarterbacks and just make a mess in the backfield. He's a good football player. Number 2. 2 and 12 linebackers. And a senior DB, number 5, Pinzer, 5'10", 5'11", about 200 pounds. He had 400 yards receiving last year, over 100 yards rushing. He's very quick. He had 18 tackles against Deschler, like 17 or 18 against Deschler. He's another one too. He runs around back there, kind of command of the backfield. He's usually going to be back there alone, and his eyes are big and his hands are sticky. He can make some picks too. Senior guy. So 12 and 2 are the guys on defense that make this engine go for Brooks. And there's some guys that you can watch out for and keep your eyes open. I'm glad I could bring you a little bit of news about your team that you're going to be traveling to over there for Cherokee County. And good luck to y'all, man. And darn it, just go win it. It's going to be cold, and we're going to come home next week, and I'll get to come over and watch Cherokee County playing a semifinal game over here. Hope that's the way it turns out. And good luck to everybody. God bless you, and y'all all be safe and stay warm. Good Lord, man. Games tomorrow night. I'm telling you, you better take a bog and some hand warmers. Just don't go out and think, I know it ain't been that cold. It's going to be tomorrow. And it's got me second guessing on whether I'm going to make that trip outdoors or not. My nose already stays messed up all the time. So if y'all out tomorrow, stay warm. I'm going to cut this fire off, man. It's burning me up. Golly.